Am I in focus? I've lived here for 16 years. I treat this island as my home. I love this island. I love this country. I make sure I learn the tradition. I make sure I learn the language. And of course, I follow what's going on. I follow the news. Sometimes I just can't keep it inside and I just want to comment on those things. If not comment, at least bring it to people's attention. You will be the judge if I'm the best person to do it, but I feel if more of us will start discussing those things on a daily basis, Cyprus can become even better place, especially for local people. Many of us have been affected by rising rent prices. I found this recent article from Cyprus Mail that says spiraling rents in Cyprus unprecedented and alarming. No shit. It says the housing situation in Cyprus has become a matter of great concern, with rental prices soaring to unprecedented levels. While the reasons for this situation are multifaceted, it is evident the greed on the part of the landlords, the lack of regulations, and the indifference of the real estate agencies and government have contributed significantly to the issue. If any of you in recent months have been apartment or house hunting, you've noticed that the prices went 3 times, 4 times higher, literally 100% increases. And I'm not joking. I saw apartments going from 500 euros a month to 1,900 euro a month within the past 3 months. People are being kicked out from their houses, from their apartments, in order for the landlords to raise these prices and get new tenants. It affects the families, it affects the people that are on a single income. The salaries are not raising at the pace of the rent prices, so let's continue. The most concerning aspect is the unregulated rental market, which has allowed landlords to set prices arbitrarily. Families may find themselves facing 100% increase in rent overnight, with no recourse to complain or negotiate. There is no law that regulates the rental market. It's a huge issue. So landlords can do whatever they want, and we are witnessing it right now. I am not all talk. Let me show you what's going on, let's say, Facebook Marketplace. I found these ads. So we have a brand new 2-bedroom apartment, Paphos Universal. By the way, I'm going to remind you that till last year, Paphos was one of the cheapest cities in Cyprus. People would move to Paphos to pay lower rent, and then they would commute to Limassol, to even Nicosia sometimes, in order to go to work. It made sense. The rent was so low that it made sense to them and it checked out. Well, now the situation is different. Paphos is one of the most expensive cities in Cyprus, and these are some proofs for you. For rent, brand new 2-bedroom apartment, Paphos Universal, $2,500 per month. It says dollars, maybe it's euros. 2-bedroom apartment, 1.2 thousand, 1.3 thousand, 1,350, 1.2 thousand, 1,500, 1.350, 1,450 for 1-bedroom apartment. If you think of the minimum wage, which falls around 850 euros, of course the data, the official data of Cyprus says something else. But people who work, for example, in service industry, this is the type of salary that they would get. So if you have to pay for rent between 1.3 and 1.9 or 2,000, electricity and water and garbage, communal expenses, groceries, clothes, commute, petrol is expensive. So you're sitting there like me in the middle of the night and wonder how the f*** to live at the moment. But going back to rentals that I want to focus on, if landlords continue raising prices, they will not rent them. The properties will be empty, okay? I did some research because I was very curious how much it costs to stay 1 month in a 4-star hotel, for example, in Cyprus, and how does it compare to rent prices? And my findings are very interesting. So I found out that to stay in a 4-star hotel in Cyprus for a whole month, this is 29 nights for 2 adults, not 1, 2 adults, okay? It costs 2.5 grand for 2 adults in a hotel with room service, 4-star. You don't need to buy a shampoo, okay? And usually bed and breakfast. So your breakfast is paid and you usually have a beautiful buffet. You don't ever have to worry about cooking in the morning. Another hotel I found, for 2 adults, 29 nights, 4-star hotel, 1,929 euros. Exactly the same as 2-bedroom apartment in Universal area in Paphos. The cheapest 2-bedroom apartment that is livable that I found on the internet on Facebook Marketplace was 1,300 euros, okay? Those are going up to 3,000 euros when it comes to Limassol, for example. So if I find a hotel that is 4-star with room service and it's an entire apartment, 1 bedroom, 1 living room, 1 bathroom, it's 40 square meters, and it costs me 1,929 euros for 2 adults for a whole month. There is a swimming pool, there is a bar, there is all these luxuries that come with the hotel. I mean, where am I gonna live? What is a better deal here? You tell me. Tell me in the comments, what would you do? But my curiosity didn't stop there. I dove even further. And I found this video. It's a TikTok by Klepastra who shows off her Limassol apartment that she pays for 1,700 euros. Mind you, this TikTok is from August last year. If we calculate that the rentals went up, maybe this apartment is now 2,500 euros. But I'm speculating, but probably I'm right. Maybe not, but I am. I'm sure I am. So let's take a tour of the apartment. Of course. A drawer that won't open because of an unconnected to water washing machine. The drawer that won't open because of unconnected to water washing machine. I had to repeat that. Bugs. Who needs a toilet seat? An air conditioner. Trying to revive the plant. And a puddle of water because of it. Swimming pool. And pets. I am so sure that a lot of you will relate. The most upsetting in this whole situation is landlords. They're kicking out families in order to bring new tenants that will actually pay the new prices. There is just no mercy at the moment in this market. And I'm generalizing. I know there is always someone that is different and good, but in general, this is what is going on. Going back to the Cyprus Mail article, real estate agencies also have a significant role to play. Their short-sightedness and greed have contributed to the problem by allowing landlords to set arbitrary prices and prioritizing their commissions over their clients' long-term interests. Instead of taking advantage, agencies should focus on ensuring that rental prices are reasonable and based on people's income levels. Yeah, they will. For sure. Let me give up my high commission in the name of the overall good. Everyone thinks like that. In fact, when I was looking for a house to buy last year, I realized that agencies put 25, 30, 35% sometimes even on top of the price that the owner of the house would ask if you were buying directly from him. I am not taking away from the fact that agents work hard, because fun fact, I was a real estate agent for about a month and it was hell. I really don't know how these people do it. Going for viewings in this heat in Cyprus as well, it wasn't for me. It was a nightmare job for me. That's why I really respect what they do. It's a hard work and they deserve their commissions, okay? They do. They deserve to be paid. But when I spoke to some real estate agents recently, even they admit that what's going on in the market right now is simply crazy. By the way, I'm focusing on Paphos so much because, guys, till last year, people used to move to Paphos to save money on rent. The rent was so low that it was worth for people to move there, pay their rent, pay for petrol to commute every day to Limassol or Nicosia to go to work and come back, and it made sense. At the moment, it doesn't make sense anymore. I know prices rose everywhere, but Paphos, the difference is just astounding. So these are the current prices of Limassol rentals. And these are the current prices of Nicosia. But if you do want to save some money on rent, Larnaca apparently is a good idea, because if you see here, it remains now the cheapest city in Cyprus. Is it because nobody wants to live in Larnaca? Is that the thing? But you can see 2-bedroom apartment for 650 euros. That's like, imagine you're seeing 650 euros for 2-bedroom apartment and you're like, oh, that's affordable, that's so cheap. But in fact, it's still expensive for Cyprus if you think about it. If your salary is 850 and rent is 650, you're f***ed. Yeah, that's a fact. Obviously, there are more expensive properties, but a quick basic search on Marketplace in Larnaca and you can see affordable places, okay? Affordable, but in this market, yes, affordable. Larnaca, guys. Anyway, moving on. My research went further than this. And of course, finally, the government must take action to regulate the rental market and prevent landlords from charging exorbitant prices. The lack of regulation has allowed landlords to act with impunity, leading to a growing inequality gap between the wealthy and the less fortunate. The government should consider setting limits on rental prices based on the income level of the general population, providing better information on how to file complaints against landlords, and creating a government agency to protect tenants' rights. So, as we found out from this article, no such laws exist, or they're so stupidly written and nobody knows that they exist, or nobody knows how to follow them. Okay, so many people provided their comments on the article. Let's dive in. One of the users says, "Keep talking about it but doing nothing. This should be a priority. Tenants are being kicked out, then new tenants and rent doubled. Most increases, example, electric, food, petrol, are borne by the tenant, not landlord. This situation is despicable. Where are people on 940 euros or less before deductions supposed to live? And how? Stop talking about it and take serious action. At the same time, force developers to stop building luxury villas and instead building decent homes for locals and low wages." This is such a good point. I so want to sign my name under this, but it's another smart person that said it. Everything is marked luxury in Cyprus, okay? Developers are investing their money and are creating new developments that are luxury villas, somewhere by the sea, somewhere with a pool. I so hate the word luxury. I can't even, it's my pet peeve. I know if people want to put higher price on something, they will just write luxury, whether it's luxurious or not, by the way. They can have a shithole somewhere in the worst part of the city and they will put it as luxurious and they will put extra 500 euro on top. Literally, it happens. You know, guys, that it happens. You've seen those things. And that's not only about property, okay? You want to buy a freaking chair.
A classic, deluxe, custom, designer, luxury, prestige, high quality, premium, select, gourmet, pocket flashlight.
Give me a break with luxury, okay? Enough. Rant over. Let's move on. The empty high-rise eyesore buildings of Limassol are an example of why rents doubled for the last years. And someone answers, "Complex of over 100 apartments near me, most empty but apparently are rented out to Chinese. Sounds like simple money laundering to me." These are big accusations here, big words. I will leave it up to you to just comment about it, but yes, we know all about some scandalous behavior of the government. Another user says, "My understanding is that Cyprus law states a landlord can only increase rents by 7.5% every 24 months. It's only now that landlords can get even close to covering their outgoings, as developers and banks previously had their eyes out for what are substandard buildings and empty promises. Yes, rents have gone up whilst the government refuses to tackle issues around minimum wage, etc. There is a huge amount of rhetoric and little context in this article." So someone answers here with a bit of information for change. "That is not correct, Dave. Only property in special rent control areas are subject to these fixed increases of 7% per year or 14% every 2 years. These are statutory tenancies. Most properties are on contractual free market tenancies, so will be subject to market demand." So guys, go now to your cupboards, find your contracts and see what it says. And then realize that it doesn't matter, okay? No matter what it says, it doesn't matter. At least now we understand that there was a high price to pay for the COVID lockdowns and the Ukrainian subsidies. And this trend is global and not confined in Cyprus. When you combine greedy landlords and innovative companies and foreign talents who get 50% discount on tax, this is what you get. And someone even brings up an example of another place in Paphos. Like I say, people are shocked that the prices went up so high. For the design 2-bedroom semi-detached house. And it's 3,500 euros. Woohoo! Super special offer. Well, at least they didn't call it luxury. So another interesting part of my research was to dive in deep into how much the rent prices are around the world. So I found a list of top 20 cities in the world that have the most expensive rentals, okay? And those rentals are all 2-bedroom apartments. Now, I showed you that current prices are somewhere on average 1.3 thousand up to 3,000. But like, okay, let's do an average of 1.5 grand. Let's be nice. 1.5 grand. Where do we fall on this list? Number 25, which is the cheapest city on that list, is Milan. And the monthly rent for 2-bedroom apartment in Milan is $1,395. Yes, you heard that right. If you live in Paphos at the moment, you could be living in Milan if you're paying 1,300 euros for your rent. We can go down this list. That includes Shanghai in China, Frankfurt, Stockholm. You could be living in Stockholm for the same amount of money, or in Chicago, or in Auckland in New Zealand, Vancouver, Canada. In Dubai, guys, 1.5 grand gets you a 2-bedroom apartment in Dubai. And if we think that there are 2-bedroom apartments here that cost, let's say, 1,900 euros, which I also showed you today, you could be living in Singapore, guys, or maybe Japan, or Sydney, or Dublin in Ireland. Maybe not. We need laws, we need some sort of regulation when it comes to rent prices. I didn't even touch upon the sales prices for the houses and apartments. Let's do some online brainstorming, how to fix what's going on at the moment. As always, make sure to like this video, comment, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification button because I'll be making more of those type of videos. I hope you liked this one. This is one video that I hope people can't relate to really, because I don't want anybody to struggle with these issues. But we do need to talk about those. So stay with me on this channel and I'll keep you updated. That's all for today. Have a good one.
The manufacture, distribution, packaging, and marketing of bullshit.